Hey everybody, it's Dan from the Outdoor Trade Show Network. It's Wednesday night. It is August 7th of 2019. It's time for trending news. And what I wanted to talk to everybody tonight about is this. With the way technology is changing today and the advancements and how fast and just how crazy modern technology is today, I can have live guests. And I've got a new program that I've incorporated into an existing program, and this is pretty neat. I've been experimenting with it a little bit, and I can have live guests now, which means anybody in the world that has Wi-Fi and a smartphone can now be live with me on the broadcast, and you can show your products, talk about your products. You can tell us about who you are and how you got to where you are. I want to know about you. I want to know about your story. I want to know how your products came about, how your company came about. I want to know what makes your products unique. I want to know anything that you want to share with the world about your products and your service that has to do with the outdoors. I want you part of our network here. And now we can do that. You can get with us here at the Outdoor Trade Show Network. We can, we'll email or converse back and forth, and we'll have our little whatever. But I can now have live guests. I can have anybody in the world, if they have a Wi-Fi and they have a smartphone, that you can now be part of what we're doing here at the Outdoor Trade Show Network. And that to me is like really important. And really, that came about because a month or so ago, Carlos had said to me, Dan, it'd be nice if you could have guests on because we got all these people that we know and that we talk to. It would be nice if you could have them on your programs live with you. Well, I checked into some programming, and as of really about 3 or 4 months ago, that all came. It's been possible, but it's been quite complicated before. Now, it's still got its complications, but it's quite easy. So I did a little video earlier where I was able to show my setup as to what I do down here. It's real simple, everybody. So you can be live with us here at the Outdoor Trade Show Network, and it's a matter of a little communicating back and forth. We're going to have some growing pains, but it's possible. Anybody in the world now can show their products, talk about their products, and tell people where they can purchase their products now live with me here on the Outdoor Trade Show Network. So with that, I'm going to show you this little brief video. We're good? Okay. Hey, this is my setup, everybody. It's real simple. I got my microphone, but Joe Mullen had told me, Dan, you got to get a better speaker, so I got this here. I monitor what we're doing on the broadcast with my little iPad. I take my bigger pad that I can watch as we're progressing, and I can watch to make sure everything's going all right. And then that up there is my phone. My phone is set up on a nice stand, and it's got just a real little, all I got is a little clip that goes on a tripod, and that's it. That's all I have, and it's probably when you get set up, say 3, 4, 5 feet away from you, you'll have to speak up a little bit if you don't have a speaker like I have set up here. But it's real simple. You can use your phone. I'll send you a link on when we get this set up. And I can send you a link either by message or by email. You download the link. I do what I got to do here with my iPad, and the next thing you know, you're live with Outdoor Trade Show Network, and we can talk about your products. We can talk about what you're doing. So it's real simple. I'm excited about this new program, but I can bring people in, and you need a good Wi-Fi, and you need a smartphone, you need a tripod. I suggest you got a stand so that it's sturdy, and then I can have you on the program, and you can tell everybody about your products. You can tell everybody about what you're doing for the outdoors. So with that, I wanted to show you my simple setup, real simple setup here for when I do my broadcast, and thank you, everybody. There, I hope that helped a little bit. I tried to show you my setup here. It's real simple, everybody. I got that cell phone is out probably about 4 feet from me right now. I've got the microphone because like Joe said, Dan, you need to get a little better sound. But I did some testing during the week here, and I think if you speak up a little bit, your phone, but what I suggest to everybody is this, I got a different little adapter, but these are little adapters that expand, and they'll screw into your standard stands, and it's real nice. Or get something that'll hold, really if you can stand your phone up, you need your camera, where your camera can show, and get yourself set up. I'll send you a link. We'll get yourself set up here with us, and we can have you live with us here at the Outdoor Trade Show Network, showing your products, talking about your products, talking about your company, talking about how you got to where you're at, talking about whatever you want to talk about, because I would love to talk to everybody about what they're doing. Candy for Fish, by Tyrone. There you go. Just show, get a hold of us here. I got so many people getting a hold of me. Hopefully the people that had questions this week, I was able to answer all your questions. If you have any more questions, get a hold of me. I try to get everybody taken care of here. But like I said, if you have an outdoor product, I can have you live now. I can have live guests on my programs, and I want to do more of these. I know there's so many products, there's so many companies, there's so much good out there, there's so much good stuff out there, and I want to share it with everybody. I would like to share it with the whole world. And actually, people, what amazes me is that is so possible today, to be able to share with a little setup like I have right here, like I did with that video before. I can share through the Outdoor Trade Show Network your products, your story, your elevator pitch, whatever you want to share with the world. We can do that here now if it has to do with the outdoors. So I'm excited, and there's better things coming and more things coming, and this is nice, everybody. But it's nice. You get a stand, you get yourself set up. I'll work with you because I really want everybody part of our network here. Another thing I wanted to talk to everybody tonight is that a friend of mine went to go into Canada on Saturday. They got turned around. He had probably 15 years ago 2 drunk driving tickets, and he thought, hey, it was just fine and dandy. Now, one of the other guys, I've talked to them. They got back Monday. They took their time getting back, but they couldn't get into Canada because my friend or Ronnie got turned around. They checked on him. They stopped him. They'd let a couple vehicles go before. They really didn't talk to him much. They didn't have much to say to him. They stopped those guys. They checked him. He had a couple of drunk driving, DUIs, whatever you want to call it, WIs, whatever you want to call them, like 10 or 15 years ago. It's been a long time for him. But they checked on him. They got turned around. The guys were mad. Somehow, and what came up was he had his hat on and some other stuff, and they wouldn't have stopped him and blah, blah, blah. And that made me think back to Brian Scaife. Brian Scaife did a real nice video talking about going across the border into Canada, and it's not a joke. It's serious business. So I would like to share that with everybody, is Brian talking about crossing from the United States into Canada, and also from Canada coming back to the United States. This is serious business, everybody. So Brian did this. I want to share this with everybody.
I wanted to talk about crossing the border, and there's websites you can go to that tell you how many cigars, cigarettes, tobacco products, alcohol, that sort of thing you can bring across the border with you. I just wanted to talk about a few of the etiquette things or little tips and tricks that I've come across in all my years coming to Canada, and let's start now. So the first one is pretty simple, pretty easy, and I think everybody knows this, but having a passport is terribly important. And if not a full book passport, at least the little card that you can get. I can put a link in the description of where you can go to get that process started, but having a passport is, you pretty much have to have it. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. So the next thing you want to do when you're pulling up to the border to answer the questions of the security border crossing agents is to just get ready, get your passports out, get them open to the page that has your picture and your signature on it, and have those ready to give to the agent. The other thing you want to do is just kind of prepare yourself, and what I mean by that is don't pull up looking like this. They don't like you to have a hat on or your sunglasses. So lose the hat and the sunglasses, roll your windows down. If there are people in the back seat, roll the back seat windows down, because they're going to want to see everybody and they're going to want to talk to everybody. And when you pull up and have all this stuff ready, turn the volume of the radio down. You don't need to pull up blasting Twisted Sisters, we're not going to take it. Just pull up, no radio, hat off, sunglasses off, and put the vehicle in park and get ready to answer some questions. All right, so if you've never crossed the border before, some of the questions they ask are, relatively easy. Where are you going? How long are you going to stay there? What are you going to be doing? So have that stuff chambered, ready to go. Know the dates you're going to be at a place, know the name of the place you're going to be at, how long you're going to be there, all that stuff. So another question they'll ask you is how much alcohol, or do you have any alcohol, tobacco, that sort of thing. Again, I'll leave a link in the description below. You can look and see how much you can bring across and just have that information ready to tell them. They will also ask you if you're going to be leaving anything in Canada. So if you brought a gift for anybody, you have to declare that as well while you're talking to the agent. Some other questions they'll ask are, do you have any firearms? Which if you're coming on a fishing trip, probably not. If it's a fall trip and you're bear hunting, possibly. So know those regulations and have that ready to tell them if you are in fact trying to bring a firearm across. Some other questions that they'll ask, which are a little strange maybe, but they'll ask how you know everybody in the vehicle, and just telling them that, oh hey, it's a fishing buddy. That's not going to cut it. You have to be relatively specific with the relationship you have with everybody in the car. Mom, dad, uncle, childhood friends, that sort of thing. Be relatively specific when they ask you a question like that. Another question they ask sometimes is, what do you do for a living? So don't be surprised if they ask you that. They'll also ask you if you have any live bait. Now, as far as I know, and again, this is something you have to look up, you can bring night crawlers across as long as they are in a bedding that isn't dirt. Some sort of synthetic bedding like bus bedding is okay, but you can't have the worms in dirt. As far as leeches and minnows go, those are you're pretty much going to have to purchase up here when you get here. And always, just answer the questions politely and as well as you can. This isn't the time to try out your chops at improv or comedy. This isn't the time to do that. No snarky answers, none of that thing. Just be polite and answer the questions to the best of your ability, and you should have no problems getting through the border.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for that video, Brian. It's serious business crossing the borders. In any border, any country that you're going into, it's serious business. Now, something else I wanted to share with everybody is I got talking to the guys because they had to ride back, and they had a smart idea of got turned around at the border, and they were going to stop at a restaurant and eat and wait a few hours, or even spend the night or try to go through at night, when they were hoping that the shift had changed and they were going to try to get through the border 4, 6, or 8 hours later. And someone at the restaurant, I don't know where it was that they were at, said, you don't want to try that, because if for some reason you got stopped again and you guys, it's on record that you tried to get through 6 hours or 4 hours early, we're talking some serious problems. There would have been some serious problems, I guess. So I don't know how that all goes, but they decided to come back home. Don't screw around when you're doing it. And Brian, thank you for that video. But and if you do have felonies or you have tickets, please communicate with Canada or Mexico or wherever you're going, but communicate a little bit and make sure that what you're trying to do going to another country, that you can do it. So I know my friend Mike is leaving tomorrow, and we got talking. I said, please don't try anything. He said, no, they were all fine and they were all good and everything there. But, the other guys, they got turned around on Saturday, and hey, the whole week got, they planned on doing the Canada trip. It's done. It's ruined. It's over. With that, I think I'm going to wrap up what I'm doing here. Like I said, I want to share this tonight is I can have guests live on my broadcast, and all you need to do is get a hold of me, and we'll talk about what you got going on. We'll talk about your products and uniqueness. We'll kind of have a little communication. Send me some pictures. We can do something really nice here with these programs that we have now, and I can have live guests on my broadcast. I want to do a lot of these, and I want everybody to get a hold of me. I want you all part of what we're doing here at the Outdoor Trade Show Network. I see we've got Tyrone has done some posting here. I can also have where this stuff shows up on the screen. So there's a lot of neat stuff that we can do. And I'm excited for what's coming in the new technology, and we're going to try to take advantage of that technology. So with that, I want to say thank you, everybody. If you got something that you want us, and let me do this again. I want to do my sales pitch. If you got a product or a service that has to do with the outdoors, you would like us here at the Outdoor Trade Show Network to share that with the world. That's why I'm doing this. That's why we're doing what we're doing here at the network, is we want to share your products, your service, or whatever you got going on with the outdoors. That's what we're here. That's what we're about. And with that, I think I'm going to call it a night, everybody. And thank you. And keep joining in and get a hold of me, because now I can have guests on. And this is nice. You know, Wi-Fi and a smartphone. And we're in business, everybody. So with that, I want to say thank you and good night, everybody.